Good day, everyone. It's such a pleasure to always be here and help you guys. We've been talking to some great YouTubers on the phone here. Dr. Addie's here with me again. And I just use your first name. That way they won't look you up. But we've been going through a lot of cases, haven't we? We have. A lot of tough ones, right?
Yeah.
You know, I just got off a phone with a beautiful YouTube lady, won't mention any names, battling advanced MS. And this is the trouble. When you guys start to feel, and you're learning how now that if you feel a lump, deal with it. If you feel neurologically weak, deal with it. Start dealing with these symptoms earlier on, and none of you will have to go that distance like some of these poor suffering souls here. So, you know, take care of business ASAP, and then you don't have to, you know, end up like some of these. So we really appreciate you tuning in with us and helping yourselves grow. It's just, my heart is filled with love for you guys because you're just so good. You guys are getting it. I'm looking at all these questions you're asking me, and it just shows a much more informed individuals. And a lot of you are being healers. I just can't tell you. Just realize that the Creator is using you for that divine healing, and just keep yourself open to that. And that whatever you want to call it, I use the word God, but whatever you want to call it, that spirit, that prana, that life force will move through you. And remember, when we stop thinking, it moves through you even better and faster, and so more powerful. I'll keep working with that. I want to read a letter from an individual, and this individual is suffering from a problem that I know quite well, from a different viewpoint, though. And this is a case where the individual does not sleep. They can go a whole week without any rest at all. And this has a tendency to warp you way out. Remember when I told you I went on an orange diet or fast for, I call it, actually it was a diet, actually, oranges, not really fasting, for 6 months? Yeah. Well, during this whole process, I'm consciously practicing out-of-body traveling. I hook up with Paul Twitchell and the Act Masters. They're taking me, literally, to these places at night. And I'm learning how to fall asleep, but not fall asleep. In other words, if you practice enough, and you'll have some restless nights, if you'll practice going asleep awake, you'll pop out of the body easier, because you never sleep. You, consciousness, never. There is no sleep and not sleep with consciousness, and there's no sleep or not sleep with the mind either. Notice you're dreaming and ongoing. That's the astral world up, so to speak. And so it's only the physical body that has to rest. And why? Because you guys are so brilliant and so beautiful and so powerful as a soul that a physical body could not take that. We were just talking about that at lunch. Right. How soul has been equated to 10,000 suns, so bright in its consciousness and life. And yet in the physical body, some people only shine like a little 200-watt light bulb. You should shine at least like the moon. So the problem with that is God had to step itself down to handle the energy that comes in. So I had so much energy, I couldn't sleep. I laid the body down, I was out. But even then, my body went through hell. So those people that are not even doing that for spiritual reasons, that can't sleep at all, that's a serious problem. The animation lifeline in the iris is always involved in that, but also the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the gland of rest, and when it's chronic or atrophied, sleep is going to be extremely difficult. The other thing, what else would you not sleep? And that would be if your nervous system is weak and agitated. The weaker the nervous system, the more agitated, the more tremors you get. And especially when your lymph is backed up all in your head, you're on fire in your head, whether you feel it or not. So all these neurons are always irritated and agitated because acids can do both. Shut down, decay, and kill, or irritate, accelerate, hyperstimulate. So, in any case, this is why the detoxification golden key for those people that can't sleep. The doorway is always detoxification. Why? Because That's how you fix or repair the pineal gland, the agitated nervous system, weak myelin sheaths, blah, 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 blah. Going to the adrenal glands, of course, very key in neurotransmitters and increasing neurotransmitter production. Why? The integrity and health of the myelin sheaths. All right? So all this are some causative reasons why. So I want to read you this letter because she doesn't understand. And maybe some of you don't. So let's look at this. All right?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, how can Dr. Morse / Marcie instruct one to go on a vegan fruit diet without telling the person how to get all their required nutrients? Now, notice that this person is suffering a lot because she just can't sleep. Now, they should tell people this. I recommend an all-fruit diet for detoxifying, but you should know that this diet will not be entirely healthy for you. It will not be entirely healthy for you because on such a diet, you will not be getting all the essential nutrients that a body needs. And because you won't be getting all the essential nutrients that body needs, you may run into problems. Therefore, in addition to being on an all-fruit diet, I recommend you getting and missing by doing this, and she makes a line here. And they should fill in the blank by telling the person how they can get the missing nutrients. This individual is very, very wrong. And it's just that this individual doesn't get it. And it's simple put. The most nutrition that you find in a food is always in your berries, your wild berries. You don't get more nutrition anywhere else. I mean, you can juice greens out the butt and everything else, and you might be able to come up to that. Then the fruit. Now, we're talking about ripe, properly grown food, okay? We all can argue the soils, and we can all argue all this. But you get your fruits, and you don't have to have too depleted soils because, remember, roots always hunt for nutrition like you do. When you go to the store, you're hunting for the best. Roots in a plant are hunting for all the minerals they need. That's what their job is. That's why they're roots. That's why they grow down. That's why the alfalfa plant has had roots anywhere from 50 to 100 feet deep, they claim. Amazing for me, but that's how the plants look for their food too. So some of this is a little, it's how we raise them. It's the chemical fertilizers. It's all the other stuff we're doing and not understanding the fact of planting produce and stuff depletes soils for sure. Trees never do. So I've never talked to you about the argument for fruitarian in terms of economics and all of that as well. But most of you have seen these where one cow feeds 20 people and needs 5 acres to feed on. You can take that 5 acres, turn it into vegetables. It'll feed 10,000 people or 1,000 people. You turn that into fruit trees and it feeds 10,000 people. Fruits always are the best. Most of your nutrition, I've said this before, and we're talking about this 3-doctor professor up from where you're from, who has studied chemistry. 3 doctorates professor, studied chemistry and the nutrition of foods all his life, feels the blueberry and the banana is one of the highest nutritional foods on the planet. I have to say the grapes, high flavonoids. So to make a statement like this poor soul is just needs rest because this is very untrue. You can't get better nutrition. Tell me where there's more nutrition. Greens. Sorry, greens are not highly nutritious. I'm sorry, contrary to what you might think, take a look at a chemical analysis of, say, blueberries versus a Bib lettuce. Hugely different, much more powerful of a food. Energetically, here's another thing that people don't realize. You can talk about chemistry all day long, but chemistry is created through physics. Chemistry is created through consciousness of God, right? So energy is the creator of all life. So from one science to another, from chemistry, from a chemist, everything's chemistry. But for a physicist, everything is frequencies of electromagnetic energy, which creates chemistry, and everything else that's formed. All right? And then what creates the form? So you get into there is a conscious, creative creator that creates. And you can, looking at the cosmos, that whole show that's out now, the series that's out, you can't come to, there's like Isaac Newton. You cannot come to any other conclusion. Who's that guy in the wheelchair? I can't remember his name, and he's highly intellectual.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, amazing.
He considers there's no God. And everything, and that's because he's upset. He's in a chair, and he should have been fixed. But he did a special, and he had the universe tore apart mathematically and everything else, and he deducted there's no God. Well, I beg to differ with him, because just look around. There is a consciousness that's driving everything here. And your consciousness is a piece of it. So, this is a wrong statement. We are a tropical species. There's no denying that. You can say we're paleo, we can say we lived in caves, you can say migrated man did, not original man, migrated man. Almost all the anthropologists and National Geographic, we all agree that man started tropical and migrated. And that migration created the downturn of the diets and things. Doesn't mean it was right. It means that was the move of creation at that time. And now you look at all the health problems, and the remedy is always in your fruits and your berries. Matter of fact, all of you people with the neurological conditions, look at the difference. I'll tell you, especially with MS.
Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. Hit a fruit diet for 1 month with MS. Hit a fruit diet for 1 month, and then go have you some vegetables, or have you some meat, or have you some cooked foods. Let me show you neurologically the difference between fruit and vegetables neurologically, or fruit and anything cooked, which is even more bizarre. So this statement is unqualified. It's coming from a person that does not understand that she's getting everything she needs. What are some of the considerations when you're eating any food of whether that food nutritively is getting into a person? And by the way, most of the problems aren't in the blood in the first place. Yes, the bad food did create the beat up on the eliminative organs, but the problem ended up being in the lymph system because of that, not in the blood. You can change your diet and change the blood chemistry real quick. Clean out the liver, clean out the spleen, get your kidneys filtering, blood looks beautiful. See a lot of beautiful looking blood, and here's some raging cancer. Wrong system. So nutrition is so simple, we shouldn't even have nutritional classes. You know, eat a big bowl of fruit every day, or 2 or 3 bowls of fruit. Have a big salad if you want. If you want green drinks, okay. What more do you want? Most animals don't even get close to that kind of nutrition. Look at what most animals... Look, if you watch what a primate eats, you'll be surprised. You will be surprised how big a mountain gorilla is and the level of what they eat. Now that they're eating all... I'll tell you this, it's an interesting look. Look at how much greens a mountain gorilla has to eat over an orangutan who's eating fruit. Look at the difference of how much more a mountain gorilla has to eat to keep that bulk as opposed to a orangutan who doesn't eat that much fruit and can rip you apart in less than a minute. In the babies. So that's what I'm saying is sometimes we don't understand that God gave us the fruit, and almost all spiritual teachings that the fruit is the gift of the plant to you. Now we'll rip the plant out of the ground. Native Americans didn't care for doing that. Planting and ripping the mother skin, earth. Plant-bearing fruit is always the superior way. And for those that are very sensitive and you don't want to hurt animals, get more sensitive and don't want to hurt plants. However, herbs, they're here for that. That's their karma, and they love being used. I know that for a fact. And they love it when you use them because their beingness absorbs into your beingness and helps make cells well. This is part of how God helps itself, and it takes it into itself and loves itself. So there's a whole nother level of understanding here we haven't gotten into yet. We will when we round a certain bend. We'll have much more spiritual and in-depth conversations related in that manner. I don't know how to get the missing nutrients if someone puts me on an all-fruit diet. You don't have any missing nutrients, honey, but if you felt that, you could simply substitute our superfood blend. We just got the chemical analysis back, which we hadn't done that in 10 years. We've had that blend out 15 years or 20 years. And we really didn't get the chemical, because it's got all the superfoods in it. Why would you need a chemical analysis? Come on. But we did, to make the FDA and everybody happy. And we were shocked at the level of calcium that superfood has. But the superfood, just a little dab will do you, if you're worried about that. But the real problem is in your lymphatic systems, and that is where you got to go to get remedy. If you're trying to get remedy through nutrition, good luck. You'll never get it. You'll be there till hell freezes over. But nutrition is important. I'm not negating it, but I'm saying that you're overthinking it. And that's all wrong in her conversation here. She doesn't understand that's where all the nutrition is in life. Now, if you're eating inferiorly picked fruit, it's unripe and everything, absolutely problems. No question.
It's harder.
Yeah, it's harder, definitely. But we're in a detoxification mode. And we look for superior nutrition and detoxification too, but detoxification is generally a water fasting experience. I agree with that. But we can use high vibrational chemical foods to detoxify the body too. And at this level of man's acidosis, we have to. So I wanted to read this to you, no sense going on, but she doesn't get it. Now, what do you have to look at, though? This is important because she might not be feeling the nutrition. What would you have to do, and everybody has to think about this, when you're ingesting foods, what is the process of that from the first implanting the food in your gut? What has to take place for you to realize the nutrition out of it? You have to digest. Right? Yeah. So if your pancreas is inflamed and you're not producing adequate digestive enzymes and blah, 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 that's going to affect carbohydrate digestion. You also have a little lipase there. So then you've got the gallbladder. So if that's out of sorts, you're not going to break down your fatty acid, your fats. So you got that. Now what else we got? Oh, look, we've got to get all this nutrition in. So we got absorption. How many people are malabsorbed because of their lymph systems? 90% maybe? Absolutely. What's the third thing? Utilization. If your adrenals are down, you can just imagine your zinc, selenium, iron, and everything else is too, because your adrenals produces, remember, 24 to 25 mineral corticosteroids for mineral utilization. Until those are fixed, you can't bitch about deficiency. And then elimination, which will make everything work, make the three first processes always work good. Yeah. So until you fix those, you couldn't even make these kind of statements. But the fruits and the berries of where all the nutrition is, guys, but ripe. Now, if we were in Costa Rica, Thailand, you wouldn't say that when you eat fruits from there. Yeah, you can bitch about the fruits in the States and stuff, and in some of the countries, I'll agree. But don't ever feel that we would put you on a deficient diet. That's an insult to us, in my opinion. Hello, Dr. Morse. Listen to this. I am a 17-year-old male who recently suffered from cystic acne. Now, how much?
One. We've had
another one.
So many.
Oh,
yeah.
So many. My God. But again, guys, at 17, what can you count on that you have a problem with? Kidney and adrenals. You can take that to the bank, and this young man can take this to the bank. 17 years old, poor guy. Yeah. And of course, that doesn't make him feel comfortable about his body. Yeah. So we get your kidneys and your adrenals up, get your lymph filtering, my friend. Who is this? This is Matt. Matt, get your kidneys filtering, get this lymph moving. You have to break this loose. And I would also clean up my GI tract so all this can drain better. So clean all this down below, and this will drain this. Go hug someone that's sick. Try to have a cold and flu-like symptom. Try to get the sinuses clean. Because all this is just acid lymph. And it'll pull out of there and clean. And you will repair that which is damaged. Of course, he went to a dermatologist. He went on the Minocycline or something. Yeah. Never heard of that one. Along with the typical benzoate peroxide. I ran an antibiotic for 3 months. And see, here's the problem. These guys, medical doctors just don't get it. And the sad thing is they can destroy the bacteria in the lymph nodes by giving the antibiotics, and you need those bacteria to break down acids.
But what's interesting is that for 3 months, he thought it was amazing because it suppressed
it. Suppressed it, which he knew because for the following 6 months, my skin was perfectly clear, right? But it shows you, and we've talked about this before, the suppressive nature of antibiotics. They're not just not antibiotics. There's a suppressive nature to those, right? Yeah. All right. So he was perfectly clear till August of 13, and then what happened? I had the worst breakout ever. So what does that tell you? That automatically told you that what they gave you suppressed all this acids, and at a certain point, the gate was open, and the horses come running out. Yeah. And it's like, See, that's the problem with pharmaceuticals. Oh, we'll take care of that. They knew they couldn't take care of that. I guarantee you this dermatologist knew he couldn't cure the cystic acne. He knew he couldn't do anything about it, or she, and they just pursued the antibiotics anyway, because it never cures anybody. It does the same thing it did to Matt. Oh, look, it cleared it up. Wham! And that's not good. the blowback from that's not good.
Right. So then he went back.
So then he went back to
the
dermatologist and went on another round.
Another round.
Yeah. Minocycline? Never heard of that
I've
one.
never heard of that one.
Yes, it has cleared my acne, but it makes me uncomfortable knowing that the long-term side effects of the drug are probably far worse. You're right, Matt.
So
And
now
just
he's not
that's
well.
the thing. Grab this now. So if you do have a blowback again, which you will, you've got to. It won't be such a blowback. If you go quick, get it high on the fruits and everything, get those kidneys filtering everything, that blowback shouldn't be too bad. Effects on drugs far worse than I realized in regards to my digestion. Here's another thing. The same drugs are ripping his digestive system. Well, not only do they rip that, they kill the bacteria, they rip you. And it's like, what? Why do these guys keep pursuing this? It'd be one thing if medical doctors just started this and they didn't know any better, but these guys know better. This is way down the road of using these therapies on people. I honestly believe that the drug is destroying my immune system. You're right, man. To the point that I got off my acne would return with vengeance. And it's going to have another return. And that's why if you hurry now, it's possible, like I said, to reduce the blowback.
So he says he's on a 100% plant-based diet.
To add to this, I am currently on a 100% plant-based diet. I use jojoba oil to moisturize along with sunscreen. Good idea. Yeah, you can use jojoba oil. You could use coconut, grapeseed oil, highly nutritive oil like jojoba oil. But Matt, this is internal. Problem is topical, problem is internal. Problem isn't parasitic, problem is lymph. This is just sewage, and that's why the cystic part of that. But you get that body cleaned and moving out of there, and your skin will be nice forever. And that's what you got to do. You're not trying to suppress or anything or attack anything because there's nothing to attack. Your body's already having lymphatic problems. You can't attack the lymph system; it'll just bite you back. And it's the thing is that's not a way to go. So you'll be okay, Matt. Just get in there and detoxify because worse things are coming. Not to be negative, Matt, but this is the head. And that's hair loss, balding early in life, dementia early in life, all kinds of problems with the brain. And it's like, nope, don't go there, Matt. Back away, get out of there, get some upper circumbrain nerve going, rebuild, strengthen. You'll be in good shape, my friend. This is from Reggie.
Wow, Reggie. Is there a way to completely reverse diabetic neuropathy and regenerate nerves if the blood sugars are kept in control and proper diet is maintained? Please let me know what I can do for this.
So I'm sorry, Reggie. There's just nothing. That I was telling them that I was listening to a radio show, and it was one of the supposedly top guys in health and writes books and stuff. I won't mention any names. And someone called in with MS, and she said, and this is a syndicated health show, and she was listening to radio, and she got a call in on, and then he picked her up, and she said, "Does Natural Health have anything for MS?" And he said, "Oh, not at this time, honey. There's nothing to do." Remember I told you guys that? I wanted to bop him over the phone. You know what? If you, as a practitioner, if you can't help somebody, don't discourage someone for looking and finding another healer, because there's always someone better than you. And, that's why you guys will be better than me, and I hope so. And I'm not offended by it. I want you to be better than me. I do. And that's why I give you everything I can learn and we share, because it's not about us. It's about, life and our brethren, our friends and everything else, and all of life, absolutely, because all life suffers. It's like throwing a rock in the ocean. You have those pebbles that go out. It's the same thing. Any energy going out affects all of the universe. Thanks, Reggie, for that. But absolutely, matter of fact, neuropathies aren't really difficult to get rid of here. And again, nerve regeneration. But again, when we say diabetic, and here's the thing with diabetes, neuropathy is a diabetic problem. Not all. This is an acidosis problem. But why in a diabetic would you have neuropathy? What's involved with diabetes? Kidneys and adrenals. Even type 1, you can just about count on kidneys and adrenals being down. And so you're going to see high acidosis in the body and ketosis. You guys all know that. And so when you see those two things, you're going to see neuropathies coming. You're not moving lymph well. And you can turn all that around. The neuropathy, a lot of you YouTubers have gotten rid of your neuropathy, so go to the Facebook site and talk to those guys, because neuropathy is the one thing. But you can fix the diabetes and all that. Get your adrenals up. If there's a type 1, get into the pancreas. And we've talked about type 1 and the use of insulin and that. And that's why we talked about Marcie. 35 years on insulin. Not easy to get a complete remission. She can get her blood sugars way down, but she's still, because of the low output of insulin by the beta cell, because a hormone. She's been on an insulin hormone for 35 years.
That's right. The body's used to it.
The body's used to it. Yeah. Imagine being on cortisol for 35 years. You're not going to have any adrenals. You're going to be a wreck. And so it's just those sort of things. Who's this from?
From a mother and son.
This is from a mother and son. Tracy and Sean. Thank you so much, guys. We love you too. Thanks so much for your great comments. Love you guys too. Really do. He shared his information on Candida and discovered you. Oh, thanks. He shared his find with me, and we are both hooking on your videos. Thanks, guys. We are also grateful. Oh, you got it. Day 40 of a fruit, melon, and berry for both. Woohoo! Day 40. Awesome. Mom, son, good job. I love this mother.
Wow.
Going with her son, I love that. That's a female principle for you. Good principles. Sean started Fab 4 with Parasite M and Upper Circ and has ordered a second round. I will be starting Fab 4. Let me see. I have SSDI. Well, talk to Jen about that, honey. Talk to Jen about that and see what they can do with you on the SSI. I have, because she'll help you. So write in here and give your information to Jen, and she can help you with the price on those. I have many health issues. Major depression with 2 suicide attempts. All right? Parathyroid. Got to hit the parathyroid, and that means, Sean, you probably have it too. So hit your parathyroid gland. Get some parathyroid gland. We like to use the kelp with it. That'll bring you up with the iodine and the calcium. That'll help you pull out of depression. So she's got both. And again, this is when we start looking for pituitary. We start seeing depression, parathyroid. We start seeing anxiety, adrenal glands. We start seeing the glands are down. Oh, let's fish a little further, because we might pick up a pituitary. The reason that's helpful is that you can go after the thyroid and parathyroid with glandulars or herbs, but if the pituitary is kind of sitting down on that, not producing enough TSH or something, then you're not going to get a response like you would have. So just knowing the pituitary is involved, you can hit that gland just a little bit, and it'll hit everybody else with it. Now, anxiety, that's the adrenals, right? So that sits on top of the kidney, so immediately they're going to have kidney problems. So now you're going to have filtration problems. Well, this goes back to why people are having problems.
And then we've got instability of the lumbar spine.
Okay.
Right, slippage.
Right. So again, stability of the spine. This is her profession. Yeah. She's a British chiropractor and a
Bowen therapist.
Yep. Bowen, yeah. That was awesome. Good. Yep. And a homeopathic physician. Yeah. Yep. So by again, disc slip, crack, pop, and why? Acidosis. You're losing the calcification. You're losing all the stability of the muscles there. You're weakening the muscles. All that implies. And so that's what acids do. They inflame, weaken, and deteriorate. Of course, then you're going to suck the little calcium out of that spine. Remember, I was showing them the thermography with that lady's back all red. Yeah. Typical look, too, by the way. And that'll take that lady's calcium right out of her spine. Then she'll get slip disc, compressed disc, herniated disc, all those things, Sciatic, of course, that's from the discs and all that. But again, this is the lumbar spine. So what is most associated with the lumbar spine? Hello, kidneys and adrenals. Exactly. L4, L5, 3 and 6, okay. Weak pelvic floor, okay. Yeah. Again, but we're going up here with a parathyroid weakness, so her skeletal system is going to get weak. She can't repair the system, can't repair the spine, so she's going to continue to lose the discs, right? Between L5 and S1, here we go. We're back to the kidney area. Yeah. She's got a cyst. Now, this cyst is not difficult to come out of there. You got to get the kidneys filtering, or it can make you totally invalid. There's a lot of people that just have a cyst, a tumor on the spine, and they can't walk from it. So you get this out of there, and the only way is get the adrenals up, get the kidneys filtering, Mom. Lichen Sclerosis, arthritis. These are all systemic acidosis. All of this systemic acidosis. And why wouldn't you? Your adrenals are down. Your kidneys are down. Your spine is letting you know that. All your points for that are letting you know that. No thyroid. 1/2 removed in 95. Pap carcinoma, 1/2 removed 2005. Hashimoto thyroiditis. Yeah, but those are not difficult to clean out of there. Cell changing. Yep, absolutely. Radiation. Oh, I'll smack your hand, Mom.
To remove the excess.
To remove excess thyroid
tissue. Okay.
Now let's just burn anything else out. That's just her throat. Oh my God. Do you have a dry mouth, saliva? Do you produce saliva anymore? Anything like that? Sometimes the radiation burn is so bad that people lose their saliva, salivary glands, all these things. Dental root exposure. No alcohol. Yeah, you're going to get receding gums and everything else. You're highly acidic. No alcohol, cigarettes. That's good. That's what I've been since June 2012. History of allergies. That's your lymph system. So I see you right there. Pretty good view. So what do you think, guys? How are we going to fix this lady and her son up? Because you know her son's going to be an imprint of Mom and was in Mom for 8-9 months. So you know his lymph system's going to look like Mom's. So what's the first order of the day? We get into the adrenals. We get the adrenals up. We get the kidneys filtering. Go to the parathyroid. We want to work on that all together. Hit the parathyroid. Hit the adrenals. Hit the kidneys. Hit the lymph system. Clean up the GI tract. The same thing we've been talking about on all these videos. And you follow that protocol. And that protocol is good for every one of us. We're all humans. It's not like we're each from a different species. So that really opens the door there, dear one. I know from listening to you that all my health issues are going to resolve themselves. Absolutely. The root exposure already is, and my teeth are cleaning themselves. Oh, amazing.
Wow.
Look at that.
Good.
Well, that's another thing. Now, we haven't talked much about this. But for those that brush your teeth, the best brushing of your teeth is fruit eating. It'll clean your teeth for you. It'll clean your butt for you. You know, no residue sticky poo. You know, all those things that people deal with. Now you buy the little wipes and stuff. It's like you don't need those on fruits and veggies. They're clean. They clean you. What better? God was smart. We're just eating foods that are gluey, sticky, starch, proteins. Ugh.
But the thing is, Dr. Morse, that patients get used to that type of a stool. And when that changes, they're surprised.
I know.
Right? They're used to it being...
I didn't need toilet paper anymore.
No, it's
hard to understand that. And with the teeth as well. Yeah. Cleans your teeth well beautifully. I know from, let me see, have lost a lot of weight as well. 30 pounds in 40-day fruit. Woohoo! Goodness. You guys are kicking butt. I love all these YouTubers. They're so great people. You guys are the greatest. I mean, but they would be the most spiritual. To come to our site, they have to be somewhat spiritual. You're not going to come to us and stay with us if you're not, open to that, because that's just who we get. I'm wondering, however, if I should continue taking my levothyroxine or if I should take one of your glands. You know what? The trouble is, if you have no thyroid left, you have no hormones left. So I would probably move to natural T3 or T4 because you're not going to produce T3s because you don't have a thyroid. So you might as well go to Armor T4 because there's nothing to convert. But I would say this, hit a raw diet, hit it hard, get up in there, upper circulating nerve, clean your GI tract, clean everything up, and put yourself on the thyroid glandular. 150s I think will be enough, and try to inspire. Of course, they burnt all thyroid recce. How smart of them. We'll just destroy all remnants, stem cells and mast cells and everything else. We'll destroy all that, and that way she can't regrow it ever back. But see if you can. That's all I can say. I would move to Armor T4. I think your symptoms will do well with that for now because you don't have a thyroid to weaken. And then try to inspire any cells or tissue there that will be willing to regenerate itself. That would be my take. Try it with, because we're doing it with others that have done the same thing. So we're just watching. I had a lady with a piece, remember I told you, I had a lady with a little piece of thyroid left and we got hers to grow back. But she did have an existing piece. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why the future of this is very promising.
Yeah. Oh, as for her son, he's not feeling so well. She's convinced that he has degenerative adrenals and kidneys. His acne is severe, even after 40 days of fruit.
Yeah. It's possible, even after 40 days, not to filter.
Yeah. So how long do you guess that we will be feeling better? We've both had a lot of mental, physical, and emotional detox symptoms. So
Good.
lots coming out there.
Good. Well,
doing great.
you know what? It's hard. The only way you can give someone some ideas of time factors is looking at their eyes and seeing at what level. The fact is, you can rest assured that your body will regenerate if you remove what? The acids that's degenerating it. Now, the genetic weaknesses. How do you rebuild a genetically weak cell? You have to understand the spiritual side of life. To understand that, we have to enter the world of, and remember I showed you the God Worlds chart the other day, the map? You have to understand that. And the only way I can give you a quick lesson on that, and I've already done it in some videos, is in school. To really get into how consciousness is even at the cell level, and that you can change the genetic print, because it's all done through the same, it's reversing the same way it's mutated. We mutate it through chemistry, and we regenerate it through chemistry. And it all affects DNA and RNA and chromosomes and the whole bit. You rebuild the cells, organs, and glands just like you do the full body organs and glands. Cells are full of organs and glands just like the body is. You know, you got the mitochondria, you got all the organs, you got all of these in the cell. So you have the same thing going on. Micro, macro, yeah. We had a little departure.
We did.
There's always departures. And it's like, oh my God.
This is a busy place.
This is a busy place.
Goodness me.
It's insane. I have time for one more, and I apologize for that, but so many things going on. I need to sit my butt here and do a couple of days for them and just get this taken care of. You know?
Yeah.
This is from Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Hello, Dr. Morse. Thanks for that. She loves watching our videos. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Originally started watching and started our herbs and eating raw for a few months. That's great. I am amazed at the changes that I've already experienced over this short time. Yes! Yeah. Because there are some of you that are not so bad as others. You know, we're just the clinic of last hope almost. So we get the gnarly things. But there are some of you that can get your health back so quick.
So quickly, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we just deal the worst of the worst. And unfortunately, but when I hear things like this, Sarah, thank you, sweetheart, and I'm glad you're working on yourself. A close family member.
Yeah, 37-year-old male. Has been diagnosed with a brain tumor. Okay. But he's determined to do what he can do to go the natural and detox way, and has immediately started eating 100% raw. I'm still trying to convince him to go completely fruit, and I would like to know which of your formulas should he begin
starting on this journey to Healthville or Wellville.
Wellville.
2 kidneys, 1 capsule, 1 liquid, 2 lymphatics. And what you might want to do is lymphatic 1 capsule, lymph node 5. And the reason is lymph node 5 has the blood root, the poke root, the chaparral.
And it's got the real pull.
Real pull.
Right.
I would further get stomach and bowel, whatever number. If he moves his bowels every day, number 1. Every other day, number 2. And go after cleaning that bowel, the GI, broom, and everything else, because you're trying to clean and filter lymph so everything can just drain. You could do hot and cold compresses on the head. You want to do these neurolymphatic points down the back. This will help move this lymph more aggressively down the back. So I don't care if you touch the points or not. Just take 2 fingers, go on each side of the spine, and just work him down every little inch all the way down that spine. Keep working that down to help get a drain on that. 100% fruit, I would go into a grape fast, a grape diet. Darker red grapes, eat them by the bushel basket, who cares? Go work yourself into a grape diet and live there for a while. At the same time, let's see, I wouldn't do upper circ right now. I wouldn't move blood aggressively toward it or anything else. I just kind of leave everything up here alone and dig on everything down here. Get the kidneys filled, get the sweating up. Get into, not an infrared, you don't want to put any radiation anywhere, but get into a steam or a dry sauna. Get everything opened up and moving. Get everything moving. Expectoring.
Yeah.
Whoops. Everything, and get everything moving out, and get those kidneys filtering. If you don't see kidney filtration within a short period of time, add a kidney glandular just to see if you can shock those kidneys enough to get some filtration going, because that's key to get this tumor out of here. And that's the only way I know. I've never pulled tumors through the skull. Maybe someone in the world has with black salve. Possible, since it's a porous thing anyway. It's impossible to pull that tumor right out the skull. But he would just get another one. So you really want to open up all the corridors of the lymph and get everything draining as fast as you can. If it's non-surgical removable and all that, and you need to, you can try pulling it. You can get hold of some maybe in the world that does black sap. But it's enough to say that this head sits on top of a whole bunch of lymph. So you really got to get everything opened up and everything filtering and moving. And you'll be able to get that out of there. But that's what I'm saying. These people are having all types of lymphatic problems. You're seeing these tumors all over the place, and so you will be well. Oh, this is the lady we were Tracy.
That's the end. That's the end of that one.
That's the end of that one.
The other one, and
that was that one. Oh, there we go. Hey, that was good. Sorry we didn't get much on there, but thank you so much. Sorry these are kind of fast and anymore, but just like you said, we're so busy here. So many on all levels. Yeah. So many things happening that we appreciate your patience with me and us, and hope that you keep doing well. I'm so proud of all of you for grabbing the reins and riding these wild broncos yourself, because you've got so much influence in our society, from negative people, negative advertising, to false claims, to everything else. So I'm proud of you all for rising above that. Unfortunately, we have so many clients that are sent through a barrage of medical therapies and treatments that destroy tissue, and then all these other processes, and end up just ratted out. And like the lady that can't sleep. So the problem with that is you take all the ambiances and all, or whatever you call that, the purple pill and all those things, and the problem with those things is you have a blowback from them, always a kickback. So you have to be careful. What one was making you sleep now makes you not sleep. And you don't want to hurt your tissues. And like the young man, Matt, with the cystic acne, he learned just a valuable lesson of what pharmaceuticals do. And I've always said their number one action is suppression. And you don't know that until the blowback, till the feedback and kickback. And
seems like a great idea at the time, because it's quick.
It does.
It's very quick.
And you didn't know anybody. Thought, it's bacteria, clean it right up. Oh, look, my skin looks good. And then wham! And then it wham again. So, serious stuff. And in the meantime, while this young man is enjoying the beauty, his body's getting worse and worse inside, because no one told him how to fix it or what caused it. So we see those things. So we got to run. We all love you. Thank you so much for all your tuning in and your hours of listening. But it'll be not for naught. All this will help you in your spiritual work and in your physical body's health. And that's the bottom line. Either have fun on the rock, or the rock's going to get you. So we love you. Bye-bye, and thank you again.